Hey, everybody, I'm Captain Tommy Scoville, and you are on the lifeboat. Can I see a 5x5 if anybody here happens to be hearing me? There is a rumor on the street that we are having problems with the 5x5. Would you look at that? Excellent, excellent, excellent. Alrighty, everybody. I'm Captain Tommy. Welcome to the boat. I hope you're having a fine evening. And welcome to the 5 o'clock showing of the Lifeboat. L. Jeans, good to see you. Pauline Spinks, Boston Sarah, Meredith Lynn, Bliss and Zoe, thank you. Cheshire Cat, Balake Richardson, there's the seventh son. April, Brown Spotted Eagle, Zach Demoman, Six Pack Abs, Valerie Nagy, Tree Hugging Buddhist, glad you're here. The Pet Wellness Coach, love it, love it. Melissa, Neil, glad you're here. Mischief Managed, Davey, of course, Spanx Calhoun. Hey, Michelle. Did I see a Layla? I did. I saw Layla. Probably got sick of hearing that, huh? Got me on my knees. It is a great tune, though. Shannon, especially the old version. Inappropriate Heifer. Aaron, a.k.a. Aaron. Aaron. Oh, that's funny as heck. That's funny as heck. I got a kick out of it. Piper, glad you're here. What's happening, Jennifer? Debbie Logan, glad that you are here. 1863, Gettysburg. Pebbles. Oh, wait, Peb. Tag, love, Mama Bear. Charlie Murphy. Savage. I love Charlie. Rosa H. Do I like dogs as well as cats? I like animals in general. I love dogs. However, I prefer kitties. I am definitely a cat person, but I love dogs. I used to house sit for a great one when I lived in Nevada. If you go back and look through the videos, Georgie was she was a great doggy. I miss her. I really do. She's a great dog. My voice sounds normal today. I'm glad to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that it was abnormal yesterday, but it does happen. You do a lot of these things. Sometimes you just start getting a little bit scratched out. And yeah, been doing some coughing too. Hey, Subi, glad you're back. Aaron, I think that's really funny. That's really funny. Red is the best color. This is not open to debate, apparently. It has been decreed. Hello, Nicole the Kiwi, Holly, Dennis the Menace, Kim Wexler's ponytail. Apparently best ponytail on the internet. I don't think she would say it if it wasn't true. Mischief Managed again, Nancy Allen, and we're ready to roll, huh? Marissa Robertson, Chilled Granny, and let's get rolling, shall we? Tell you what we're gonna do. If you saw the thumbnail, then you saw the premise, right, of where I'm going with the show today. I'm sorry, I know my brother loves that, but he hates it. I'm trying to stay hydrated. I'm trying to drink more water. And I think, hold on. I think Lisa's over on the other channel, so I could probably get away with squinting for a while. I know that there's a bunch of other lives going on right now, so when she's not here, I can usually get away with it. She shows up, she yells at me. So there are, this is one of those times where you have sort of an epiphany, right? There are a lot of people who are really struggling with guilt. It's probably the thing that I get more questions on. Oh no, she's busted. Thank you, Lisa. I'm see that? I knew you were coming. I put these on before you got here. I'm afraid of you. It's the Jersey thing. You know what I mean? Jersey girls are tough. Dated a few Jersey girls are tough. You work for an ophthalmologist. Oh no. Now I got more than one. I want to tell you something. I'm done apologizing. And I'm done apologizing for a bunch. They were kept together. I'm sorry. This is awesome. If you've been following this, the strays, Johnny and Tommy, and they were adopted together. How good is that? Hey, that is the end of a great story. That really is the end of a great story. Love to see some pictures if there's any chance. That would be great. And we have an optician. Oh boy, just trouble. I'm done saying sorry. I'm done saying sorry for a lot of things, right? But I'm done saying sorry for being a drug addict. Right? I plenty of reason to apologize for that. And I think I've done a pretty good job. Truthfully, all parties involved that I needed to apologize to for that, I've done a pretty exhaustive, hey, I'm sorry. And I'm very comfortable with that. I find myself Painted Black. Love the name. Really do. Great song. New to the Lifeboat. Well, welcome. And we are glad that you are here. Former dog lady? Current cat. Okay, good. I thought you were going to. Okay, we're good. We're good. Yeah, we're happy to have you. I'm done apologizing for being a drug addict. I'm done apologizing for being a bank robber. I'm done apologizing for going to prison. I'm done apologizing for anything that I've done in my past. I'm also done apologizing for having mental illness. I struggle with mental illness. It causes me to have to do some things that I do differently. It will always be that way. It will always be that way. And I'm done apologizing for that. I'm done apologizing for anything that makes me feel bad about who I am. I got nothing to feel bad about anymore. When I work through things like this, the reason that I come on here and talk about it is because I figure there may be some smaller crap in your past, right? Maybe you have mental illness, right? Stop apologizing for it. Or worse, stop feeling shame for having it, right? I see you. We see you. Not a damn thing wrong with that. In fact, if you really want to know the truth, we're about half of everybody right now. For real, it's about half of everybody. This is a very common occurrence these days. And do you know why? Huh? Do you know why? Because this isn't how we were designed, right? This isn't how we were designed. You know what? Six pack. I too have felt shame for the entirety of my life up until recently. But I started to do it again. I did. I started to do it again. And not recently, by the way, not blaming this on it's got nothing to do with that. But as I said, I've been in relapse. I knew that I was not going in the right direction. I've been going in the wrong direction, right? And you just got to keep going back through the things that you've written, and you're going to come across it. And if you do, then you need to come on here and talk about people. I mean, and talk about what's going on so that people who are paralyzed by shame, right, start to come to the realizations, right? Realizations like you don't need to apologize to anyone for anything. It's not a healthy cycle to be repeating. I agree with you. Now, that being said, there were things that I did that absolutely require apology. I'm not saying anyone else needs to do it. I promise you. I promise you. But I needed to. And if you had been able to look through my eyes, I promise you, you would feel the need to apologize as well. What I will not do is apologize for things I've done in my past to people who were not affected by them, right? You're not a teller at a bank I robbed. I'm not going to apologize, right, to you for robbing banks. The people involved I've apologized to. I've done everything within my power to make amends in places that I can. Right? W. Logan, good for you. I love it when someone says beautifully said, Spanx. My kid's pretty damn sharp if you want to know the truth. And of late, he has really been blowing me away, man. My kid is a philosopher in a really big way. He's going to be a lot smarter than his dad, which is a good thing always. Really a good thing always. I'm glad I got it out of my system. I got it out of my system. I'll tell you the ones that really pissed me off. And I'm sorry, I got to stop doing that too. I really do. It doesn't pay off and I don't like it. So I will stop that. But apologizing for mental illness is probably the worst, because in the process of doing it, I somehow sign off on the fact that it needs to be done. All right. I'm not signing off on that crap anymore. I'm not signing off on that crap anymore. And if you feel the need so that society won't kick you around to maybe be quiet about it in some environments, I can understand why you would do that. Right? I understand why you would do that. This is not the most accepting world for people who are different. But let me tell you something. Not here, right? The host of this channel suffers from mental illness. I have been very open and honest about it. I've talked about my diagnoses, and I have, right? And I'm cool with that. Recently, people have speculated on the on diagnoses of other people, and we've tried to say to people, "Hey, man, let's not do that." Right? Even if we feel like we got a pretty good beat on it, it's probably not a good look. So I'm going, I encourage people to maybe not go that route. Right. At the same time, someone reached out today to tell me the diagnosis that someone else was saying about me. Guess what? I'm done saying sorry and everything that goes with that. Does that make sense? Let me explain to you what I mean by that. What I mean by that is, if I'm done saying sorry and all that goes with it, if there's somebody out there that wants to say I'm a narcissist or wants to say I'm anything else, that is part of that whole bag of crap that I'm not apologizing for, right? Or accepting ever again in my life. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Right? I got connection out the wazoo. I got connections, right? I am more connected than anybody in America. Do you have any idea the number of friends I have? This is awesome, right? I have hundreds, thousands of friends. So if you're not one of them, I'm going to disconnect you, right? And as simple as that. It's just, I'm done with everything that goes along with apologizing for any aspect of my life that does not need to be apologized for. And I sure as hell don't need to apologize for the fact that I was born different. I will not apologize for that. I was born unique, right? I was born unique. There are some serious problems with this computer system. The operating system that I was dealt has got some issues. But you know what? In some ways, it's magnificent. And I'm getting to the point in my life where I'm not going to apologize for the parts that are messed up anymore. And I'm not going to get bummed out with. I'm going to get better at realizing that the things that I am good at, I should be proud of that. I've got some skills, and there's no reason I should feel guilty if somebody compliments me on it. There are things I'm going to get better at. It's probably not a great idea to continue to do what I do for work and be horrendous at taking a compliment. It's going to make things really hard in my vocation. I'm going to get better at it. I am. I'm also going to do everything within my power to try to make sure that we do concentrate on what makes this place unique. I'm super happy. Right. I'm super sorry, people. Every once in a while I will read something and I may not want to read it on the air, right? But it's one of those things that will stop me in my tracks. It happens. It happens. Good for you, Kat. And I'm not just putting it up there because your name is Kat and I love cats. I mean, that's probably got something to do with it, but I do love the comment. I've got skills. And it's good to compliment ourselves. You're damn right it is, right? I did this in the joint. Seriously, unashamedly, I did it inside. I sat and looked in the mirror and told myself what a great human being I was for years, every single day, because I had so many automatic negative thoughts tearing me apart that I needed thoughts manually uploaded that were positive. And I did that religiously when I was inside. I don't know why I stopped doing it when I got out. Maybe because I started to accept what people said about me, the vast majority of which is very positive. So you can get quite lazy listening to people say nice things about you. However, if I start journaling all of this crap out and I actually work through it, right, then really cool things happen. Super cool things happen. I move forward. I become enlightened. Or I can sit back on my can and be lazy. And I want to tell you something. It's one of the things that I am in probably the most danger of is just falling into lazy, like real quick. Constantly apologizing it is exhausting, if you want to know the truth, Layla. I'm not sure why I did it for as long as I did, because I didn't used to. I promise you, I picked it up in the last year. No lie. And I did not pick it up in the last 3 or 4 months. I didn't. But I picked it up in the last year. I think it was probably right around the time I moved. You know what I mean? Let me rephrase that. It was exactly right around the time that I moved. Now I'm working on exactly why that happened around the time that I moved. But that is exactly when it happened. Painted Black says, I feel that way. I have had decades of health issues. Hodgkin's lymphoma at 16, multiple sclerosis at 21, breast cancer at 43, now facing liver and kidney issues. I feel like I was born a burden. Oh, I get that. I understand that. You weren't. You were born a gift. Make no mistake. You were born a gift. I know what it feels like, but I promise you, you were a gift, and not just to family, Painted Black, but you're a gift to the world. And I'm not sitting here pumping that crap out like Tony Robbins. I'm being serious as hell. And you know what? Every one of us, I do not care what you believe in, and I do not care how you arrive at that, right? But everybody, and I mean everybody, needs to get to a point where how we view ourselves, how we derive worth, comes from the fact that we know we were intended for something far greater than what we're doing right now. Do you have any idea the revelation that was in my life? Honest to God. It may sound like, no. Because people say stuff like, oh, you know what? There's got to be something in your life. I can't believe you're still alive. Boy, they were saving you for something good, like those kind of things. But right around the time that I really did come to the realization that, you know what? Maybe there's something I'm supposed to be doing. And once you start to realize that, what you're going to come to realize is you are a gift. The fact that you have the past that you have is a gift. Shit one. I won't lie to you. But you know the ripples and the effects that you have had throughout the lives of so many people. That kind of event, that kind of illness. I have no idea what that noise was, but it went on for 15 minutes, didn't it? That was crazy. I do have an email, sober@myyahoo.com. Sober@myyahoo.com. But I promise you, you were created for something better than what you're doing right now. And I don't care if what you're doing right now is awesome. I don't care if it's awesome. One of the absolute worst things that we can possibly do, right, is sit where we are. One of the worst sins of my adult life was neutral. I'm not kidding you, man. Coasting was the biggest sin that I ever did. You know how much time and if you're not moving forward, you're wasting that gift. I promise you, you're wasting that gift. And you do not have to, you don't have to set the world on fire. You have to move forward. You have to set a goal so that you are deciding to be a better person each and every day. I've done a bunch of shows on the word beautiful. It's one of my favorite words. It's one of my favorite words in the English language. It really is. I read a bunch about beauty, right? About why we find certain things attractive, right? And with guys, it's very, very different than it is with women, which is very unusual, right? For me, it didn't make any sense because when you ask guys what they like, we can spit stuff out really quickly, right? I like blonde girls. I like them this tall, right? You will describe their legs, the size of body parts. Guys do that, right? Women don't. Women tend to describe characteristics. They say things like, I want someone with confidence. I want somebody that can make me laugh. I want somebody that can make me feel safe. You understand? Very, very different. So I started to look into all of this, right? What makes somebody attractive anyway? And who decides? Well, there's a science to it. And sadly, it's boring as crap. Comes down to how symmetrical the left side of your face is compared to the right side of your face. And then there is a perfect gap distance between your nose and your upper lip. There is also, who cares? What that is, right, is attractive. Kind of like a lottery ticket. Been very open that I had a relationship with a model who ended up on one of those spreads that they open in the middle of a magazine. And this girl was symmetrical as hell. She was, by all definitions, very, very attractive. And she was one of the ugliest people I ever met in my life. I've watched really, really ugly people who happen to be very, very symmetrical. And what I have found is that beautiful is a choice, right? You know, pretty or attractive or whatever else you want to call that. That's something that, you know, you win that lottery or you don't. And I got news for you. It doesn't stick around. You see this? You see this stuff? This is what happens. And who cares? Yeah, beauty is skin deep and it doesn't last very long anyway, right? It really doesn't. But beautiful, making that choice every single day. We have some people on this boat that are the most beautiful people I've ever met in my life. We lost one last year. Just one of the most beautiful souls that you would ever meet in your life. She was big. She had problems with thyroid and some other things that dogged her throughout life. Cancer in that part of the body caused some very difficult things with how she grew and with weight and things like that. And I have never met a more beautiful woman in my life. Maybe we'll do a show. This happens when I'm really tired. Yeah, I've met more ugly people than I wish to, Rip. That's one of those things that is just a fact. Sorry. Paint it black. You're going to get better at it in 2024. You hear that? We're all going to get better at it in 2024. Everybody is. You hear me? Now, I'll be really honest. Your avatar kind of looks about the size of a dime on the screen that I got it in front, but you look lovely. You really do. You look beautiful. But choosing to be beautiful is something that everybody on this earth can do. Boy, if you prefer flaws and scars, I'm your guy. You should see my arms. My arms are horrendous. All of the the scars from shooting, the abscess scars and the track marks, and they really look bad. When you guys get to see me in person, it's probably going to be, well, the size of my hands. Like in real life, they are really, really odd. I have very big hands. But the second thing that will jump out at you is that I've got really bad scarring up and down both arms. And if the person that I'm meeting happens to have been a needle user, in 2 seconds, that cat will look at me and be like, yeah, I got some of those up my my sleeve too. I did just apologize for crying, didn't I? Holy hell, will you look at that? Thank you, Davey, for calling me on that. I'm not apologizing for that. I would like to do a better tribute to my friend, so I will. Probably coming up on about the 1 year anniversary, so maybe I'll. And you prepare for those, you do a lot better, right? If you prepare ahead of time, you tend to do a lot better. I will if you guys stick around long enough. You know, Miss V, right, and Crispin, and you know, Seventh and Charlie, and the people that have just been around forever have watched me go through a bunch of these where I do really well, and then you know, you go in and out, and a lot of it has to do with you. You know that, right? A lot of it really has to do with you. When things on the boat are really doing well, I have a very different attitude than when things on the boat aren't doing good. The holidays are really hard. I dealt with many of you through the holidays. So coming off of a December that I put a lot of time into, I just the start of this month was tough. It really was. Start of this month was tough. But I'm feeling a lot better now. Swear to you, I really am. We are absolutely the culmination of our experiences. Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of truth to the fact that Johnny Scoville is the exact same person off camera that he is on camera. You want to get to know my brother, you can just go watch Chase the Heat. I promise you, that is who he is. Right down to the fact that there's an excellent chance that cat's eating peppers or something really, really hot when we're not filming too. It's how he gets down. Really, really how he gets down. Paint it black. I'm so glad that you're here. I really am. And I'm glad that that you found this through Reese. There's a lot of there's a ton of crossover between audiences, but there's certainly sorry. Why, thank you. Tommy, so good to see you. You look like you feel better. I do. Love your brother also. He's not quite my twin, but boy, oh boy, does he look like me, huh? Oh no, Kristen, are you going down the oh no. You're trucking down the spice rabbit hole, huh? Oh man, Johnny will take you a little farther than you want to go and a little faster than you want to get there. But I'll tell you what, there really is something to the burn. There really is. That's why so many addicts do it. Funny story, I had a boyfriend who I thought was gorgeous. A girl I worked with told me point blank she thought he wasn't gorgeous as I had described him. So without missing a beat, next post, next post. And say, okay, has not come up yet. There it is. Here's the conclusion. I told her, great, one less girl to be worried to flirt with him. She was flabbergasted and it made my day. I love that. I really do. I love that. What do I think? I saw a question. Where is it? There you go. Hello, Chelsea Spalding. You know what? Spalding. I love that name. Reminds me of Caddyshack. What are my thoughts on the TikTokers that are doing the protesting out in LA? I think that they're doing work I wouldn't want to, right? Especially on the daily. I really just could not bring myself to do that. But I'm glad that they're doing it, right? Anything to hurt that cult, right? So I love what they're doing. And I love that they are doing it and that I'm not. Chili, Hotheads Chili Day? I don't, is that tomorrow? I'm pretty sure that's next week. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's next week. So I love what they're doing and I love that they're hurting them. Again, I find even watching it super uncomfortable. I don't find it entertaining. I would not want them to stop. And I love that there are people that find it entertaining. Right? The fact that there are people who are watching it is what's driving this. And the more that this is driving, the better chance we have of this thing getting damaged. Yeah. And that's what we want. We want it to get damaged. Well, you know what? Choosing you is a great idea. It is an absolutely great idea. Right? As addicts, we tend to apologize a lot, probably a lot more than we should. And yeah, I think we make a lot of mistakes, and getting back to basics is a really good idea. And choosing yourself. I'm telling you, 2024 is the year I quit saying sorry. I'm proud of who I am. You know, I am. I'm proud as hell of who I am today. And I'm not going to apologize for the person I used to be. He ain't around. Right? He's not around. Did I say you were looking beautiful? Well, you look way better in green. Sorry, you do. Chelsea, I appreciate that you're here and participating and asking questions. I'm so glad that you're here. And I feel guilty, but it's my honest answer, right? Own your mistakes, apologize where needed, live life as a better person. Any other course ends up being a form of self-sabotage. Love this topic. I need to live my own advice. It's usually a good idea to live your own advice, especially if it's solid. I struggle with it too. This is the hardest thing that we're going to do, at least for me, without a shadow of a doubt. This is the hardest thing I'm going to do. I struggle really hard, and I struggle because I did a lot of damage. Right? I know I did a lot of damage, but I that's in the past. And the cat that did it, I promise you, is dead. And I'm not even being funny about that. The guy's gone. It didn't work out. And I changed who I was. I'm not joking you, like 180 degrees. You know what? I do believe this, Kimberly. I absolutely believe that virtually everybody is working on something between their ears, right? Everybody is working on something between their ears. Jesse, there's a great song by Alice from Alice in Wonderland that talks about giving herself really good advice and seldom ever following it. It's from the Disney animated Alice from the 50s. One of my favorites. One of my favorites. You know what? Do you love this? Do you love this? Because I love this. I love this. I love that people hear other people and see what it is. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Rosemary. I appreciate you. Oh, oh, Mara, how good is that? Thank God. How good is that? That's a beautiful thing. That really is a beautiful thing. You gotta love that. Gotta love that. I agree with you, Mary Jones. I think you always have to be working. You always have to be moving forward, right? You always have to be moving forward. Christy, I love that. Don't let her die in vain, right? The person you used to be, do not let them die in vain. Thank you, Lenny. I appreciate that. It's you know, it's important to not live in an echo chamber, and it is important to not live in an amplifier either. It's important to not be someplace where every single person tells you exactly what you want to hear. And uh, in 2023, I spent a tremendous amount of effort and time leaving the safety of the lifeboat and going to other channels. And so, because 3% everywhere we go need us at a minimum, right? 3% need us bad. Everybody needs us, right? But 3% need so badly that their lives are in danger. So I was taking that message anywhere I could take it, and I was feeling very, very good about it. But it certainly opens you up to an entirely new audience, and the audience isn't the lifeboat. We really are a kind audience. There are people that may disagree with that, but I believe that we are one of the kindest audience anywhere on the net. And we talk about this crap all day long, every day. Like the heavy stuff, that's what we talk about. We help unpeel onions. I mean, we fart around, but for the most part, we're talking about stuff that really does affect people's lives. Yeah. Question: what is your theory of why we can't see what others seeing us, especially the good? Well, the I think that when we're kids, very often we can do things. Things can happen that, let's say you do something and it does not bring the kind of attention that you would like. And the people who are governing you, whether that be a parent, a grandparent, a teacher, a coach, whatever, they come down on you hard and they say, Mary, don't ever do that again, ever. Right? Sometimes we go, oh, okay, I won't do that again. And sometimes we think to ourselves, that's a part of who I am that isn't good. Right? That is a bad part of me. It obviously brings on condemnation from big people. Big people are the ones who feed me and take care of me and make sure that nobody hurts me. Very often from childhood, we carry a lot of stuff into the future. It can also happen in grade school, right? It can happen right around Valentine's Day. It can happen at any time. Now, if you happen to be a woman, you have a level of hell that no one else on earth has. And that level is because every billboard you look at has an image of a woman on it that doesn't exist. You understand? And we sadly start doing it by accident at very young ages, right? Barbie would have a 72-inch inseam. Right? Nobody has a 72-inch inseam. I'm like 74 inches tall. So there is, by the time a girl gets to be 14 or 15, by the time she's starting to become a woman, she's been bombarded with so many pictures of people that don't exist that girl compares herself to and says, I don't look like women, you know, I look more like a dude, or I look uglier. And we carry that crappy baggage with us into adulthood. And it's not conscious. More often than not, it's unconscious. But good God, if you drive by every single billboard you see and you see a person on it that doesn't exist, and you think that that is the gold standard for what is attractive, I got news for you. Ask guys what they think of runway models and see the answers you get. Right? Sorry. But and I'm not beating on that body type any more than I'm beating on any other, but it's not my style. I'm sure as crap not picking it up. I'm sorry, it looks unhealthy to me. Right? I don't like unhealthy. But that's, I think, one of the reasons, Mary. We have learned to think that everybody else is better than us, right? And that is an affectation of life, and it sucks, but it's the truth. Let's see. No. No. Thank you, everybody. I got condemned for a lot of things as a child by everyone. Adults were my biggest bullies. I had undiagnosed ADHD, so my childhood was absolute hell with my interactions with all adults. Megan, I am so sorry. That sucks. And I wish that this was not current, right? I wish that this was something that doesn't happen. I wish this was a story that I don't hear every day, but it's a story that I hear every day. But we're not going to suffer in silence. In 2024, we're going to come and we're going to work through our problems. We're going to do them on notebooks, right? And journals. And we're going to do it every other way we can to make sure that 2024 is a year of growth, that every day of this year, we are moving forward, not backwards. Painted Black says, I have a 34-inch inseam and I'm 5'10", called Amazon Woman, and it broke my heart every day, Tommy. You know what? I had two very close friends in high school that were very, very tall girls, and tall girls catch a lot of crap in high school, which is really a bummer. It really is, because that's just how kids are, and it's awful. And it used to be a lot worse. I think it did tend to make us a little bit tougher than what we're seeing in some of the generations coming up. But I'm sorry that happened. The one thing I can say, Painted Black, is that they all got the last laugh, right? That has been my experience. Has been that the girls who are 5'10" usually laugh the last. That has been my experience, for what it's worth. I'm going to start dropping a quote every live. Huh? Stop it. I love it. I love it. But you see, now you're there. Now we have put you on blast. Do you hear me? We have told the world. Now you are expected to come up with a good one. And you can't cheat and quote me or anything else. It's got to be a legit quote. Sorry, people, I am stuffed up. And do you know that I did right before I went and did this, I did Navage. No, short girls get the other extreme of it. Although, at least in the school I was in, the shorties tended to take a lot less crap. At least in the schools I was in. But I had a breakthrough while journaling today. What? I had a breakthrough while journaling today? I think I've worked out why I have such a bad relationship with food. My mind is blown. I remember that moment. I remember the moment, right? Where I stopped writing and I was like, that can't be it. That can't be it. This is not why I started doing dope, right? This is not what I urinated away 3 decades on. But you know what, Pauline? The power in that. God bless you, hon. That is the coolest thing I have ever heard. I really am. That is the coolest thing I have ever heard. Somebody called you tater tot toes? You know what that is, right? That's a dude that's afraid of feet. You know that happens a lot to guys. There are a lot. This is an actual thing. There are a lot of guys who are really freaked out by feet. I'm not joking. You find guys that are like, ooh, and they have foot fetishes. There is definitely an entire group of guys that are the exact opposite. Like if you say something about feet, they'll go, oh my God, feet are disgusting. People walk on them. Yeah, they're out there, man. They did build that model. Never made much sense to me, but they do build that model. Audrey Hepburn. First one, nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. Audrey Hepburn, loved her. Loved her, especially as Holly Golightly. Loved Holly Golightly. And she wasn't blonde, right? A non-blonde. And I loved her. I really did. I loved her. And you know that the real Alice, the Alice that the book is based on, was not a blonde either. Hate to do it, but it's the truth. Alice Liddell was definitely a brunette. Thank you, everyone, for being kind. AUDHD is the abbreviation for having ADHD and autism at the same time. Those together suck. So I appreciate everybody being kind. Megan, I would imagine that they do. I would imagine that adding that into the equation makes things more difficult. I have multiple members of my family who struggle with autism, and some that live fantastic, unique lives with autism. That they're just it makes them unique, and I love every single thing about it. Then that's a beautiful thing. But sometimes I know it's very, very difficult. Lisa Turtle says, the message I got growing up was, you aren't pretty enough, smart enough, thin enough, good enough. Still working through it at 64. So many people got that message. So many people got that message. And the horrific thing is that so often, do you know what it comes down to? Honest to God, do you know what it comes down to? Communication. It comes down to communication, and it comes down to connection, right? Do you know how many times, I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but there's very few things on this earth that drive me more angry, right? That make me want to throw something more than someone that says, well, guys love this, or guys like that, or guys do this. Let me tell you something, man. Don't pull that crap. I promise you, don't pull that crap. For every single guy that likes a girl one way, there's a dude that likes a girl the exact opposite way. And if that had been communicated to all of you, right, at that age, at the pivotal age when you needed to hear it, when people understood it, if there was somebody there to just communicate that, you know what, bodies come in about 25 million shapes and sizes. Right? And every single one of those shapes and sizes, there's somebody out there that digs. I promise you. And that's a fact. The internet has made that a lot more. I think more people understand that now. Thank you, V. You know what? Usually I bum out when people. V can get away with that, and she knows it. Honestly, V can get away with that. I also had undiagnosed ADD as a child. It wasn't a thing then. I understood it as an adult when my son was diagnosed. My dad then saw it too. He apologized for a lot. We're mending our relationship. Well, I'm glad that you're mending your relationship. I understand what that feels like. I understand what it feels like to have something that was not diagnosed or they didn't understand. I get that. It's a bummer. It really is a bummer. But what we have is the 95% we can do with it. That's the 5%. Yeah. That's the 5%. The 5% that comes into our life that we cannot do a thing about. Painted Black says, I can reach things others can't. I can too. Nice. It's nice to be tall. There are definite bonuses to every single part of things that, everybody, the grass is greener, right? On the other side, always, right? Always. I don't remember if it was after yesterday morning's boat or maybe a few days ago, but my takeaway was I'm getting a teeny bit better. If I'm getting a teeny bit better every day, I'm making huge progress. Well, I'm so glad you were paying attention, right? Yeah. I don't care how much you move. I really don't. But if you're moving forward, right? If you're not moving backwards, you're moving forwards. There's no such thing in neutral as human beings. You've got to be moving forward all the time. One of the things that holds us back, right, is this guilt crap and this shame crap and all of the things that get tied to us saying to people that we don't need to say it to. I'm sorry. Right? Don't apologize to society because you have a mental illness. Society does not have that coming. And the fact that your sobriety makes people uncomfortable is their friggin' fault, not yours. Do you understand that? If you say, oh yeah, you know what, I'm 4 years sober, and they say something like, hey, don't say that in front of so-and-so, that's their hang up. It's not yours. I promise you. Come on over here. We'll hold up a trophy. We'll clap. We'll cheer because we know what it feels like to have to do it. And it isn't easy, right? It is not easy. This is so real and so sad. I became popular overnight in high school when I got contact lenses. I learned having friends was conditional on what I looked like on the outside. Still trying to unlearn that in my 50s. Sadly, because as women are coming of age, right, and starting to figure out who they are, their point of references are guys whose maturity level is 10 years behind them. Honestly, right? Guys mature really, really differently and really much slower. And there are just so many jerk offs. I'm sorry, I was a jackass as a kid too. Calhoun says feet are feet. I don't think he'd lie about it. I kind of dig feet. I kind of like feet. I have Fred Flintstone feet too. If you have Fred Flintstone feet, that's funny. Because if I had $1 for every time I've heard that, Calhoun's about to say something mean, I promise you. Spanky, did you just say something mean to that your old man? Because you were typing really, see, he was typing really quick when you said that. I get that a lot. Yeah, but I do. I get that a lot. As the stomach turns is off the air and the lifeboat is back. Excellent. Question. I have never seen you. Welcome to the lifeboat, Karina Henderson. Or perhaps I missed your avatar, but I don't remember seeing you. Welcome to the boat. Hey, Tommy, I'm sure you don't remember me. Well, there you go. Oh, yes, I do know the song, but no, I didn't know. I didn't know that was you. Yes, I did happen to listen to it. Yes, I did happen to listen to it. Karina, well, welcome to the boat again. Then it's good to have you here, and thank you. Sure, you are, Lisa. Nobody's blonde, right? Isn't that people say that? Nobody's really blonde. You got to go to. Well, I got news for you. This thing here has been known to come in a little whiter than it looks today. From time to time, there's some gray highlights in there, and I like to knock those out from time to time with Just for Men. I should be getting paid. Johnny's been picking on me for using Just for Men for 10 years before he knew I was using Just for Men. It was joke for the longest time. And then one day he actually caught me with it. And he was like, "You've got to be kidding me." I'm like, "What? You knew I was on this?" He's like, "No, dude, I did not know you were on this." He's like, "I was kidding. You low life." But I very much prefer to not be. I've read studies that have linked diagnosis ADHD and addiction. Thoughts? I absolutely have watched it. Yeah, undiagnosed. I have watched. Yeah, because we, they, me, people who are undiagnosed try to regulate themselves with drugs. It's not something that you do psychologically, but it is absolutely something that you do subconsciously. It is self-medicating. We all do it, and we do it until we find something that makes us feel comfortable in our own skin. Undiagnosed ADHD will make you feel uncomfortable in your own skin because people will tell you that you're lazy. People will tell you that you will not buckle down. You will not assert yourself, right? Your inability to concentrate will be treated as if you just refused to work. Yeah, I mean Calhoun, you can't, and I felt massive guilt. I'll be really honest. I did not want to medicate my kid. I really didn't. But that was diagnosed, and I remember the conversation like it was yesterday, and I said, I just don't feel right. I don't feel right. Amazingly, and I swear to you, with the good Lord watching on, do you know that I never once took one pill from my kid? Honest to God in heaven, I never took one pill of Ritalin or anything else ever. That is astounding. It really is. I look back on it and I'm like, I told somebody that the other day and they were like, "I don't believe you." I said, "I swear to God." Oh, no way. Yeah, me too. Got plenty of gray on the way. It's cool. Lucky to be alive multiple times. Yeah, well, that's this lifestyle, isn't it? Aw, that's so cool. I just need to say, I'm so proud of my son for his emotional growth and treatment of women. I wondered if I did a good enough job. I think he had it in him all along. I'm so proud of the adult he is. Such a cool feeling. That is such a cool feeling. Um, that is such a cool feeling. I love it. You've said all that needs to be said. I hope that you got rid of whoever that person was. If you're talking to me, I can't go anywhere. This is home. Oh, this is home. Kelly, I'm sorry, huh? You know what? Getting old sucks, but it beats the crap out of the alternative, right? Think about it. What's the alternative? I promise you. Do you know what the greatest thing in the world is, right? The greatest thing in the world is that tomorrow morning is a scratch off lottery ticket. It is. I got no idea what tomorrow's going to bring. And that is the best highlight of my life. That's what makes my life worth living, is that every single day when I get up, I don't know what that day is going to bring. I mean, there'll be lifeboat, there'll be people, there'll be all kinds of stuff. But my entire life, right, for 46 years, I knew what was going to happen the second that sun came up. There was nothing about my day that was not etched in stone. I was going to steal, right? I was going to buy drugs. I was going to do drugs. And then I was going to rinse and repeat. And I did that for decades of my life. And thank God I did, right? Thank God that I did, because here I am. And as I said, I am proud as hell of the man that I am today. And I wouldn't have been that person if I didn't do exactly what I did. All of those things, the banks, all of it. Tommy, you and the rest of the lifeboater would help me get sober as of 6 months ago, this past Saturday. Do 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 do. Half a year? Tina Marie, are you serious? 6 months? Half a year, people. Oh, man. How good is that? Tina Marie, this has got to feel amazing, huh? How good is that? That is the best. You're halfway home. Once we start counting in years, right? Nice. Then you're really onto it. 6 months. You've proved this can be done, right? Rinse and repeat. You have proved you can do this every single day because you've done it 180 times. Honest to goodness. By the time I got to 6 months, I thought to myself, you know what? And I was struggling. I was white knuckling it. But I got to 6 months and thought, well, if I made it 6 months, I can get through the rest of my life this way. It's going to suck, but I could get through the rest of my life this way. But as it turns out, I started to progress, and I started to peel the onion. And once I got that back, it's a beautiful thing, people. It's a beautiful thing. To-do. Somewhere out on that horizon. Thanks, Ben. Far away from the neon sky. It's a great tune. That really is. I'm L'Oreal 8.5, champagne blonde, and I'm proud of it. All right, Lene, I know that color. Believe it or not, I know that color. I've got greats too. Proud of them. Well, here's the thing, right? Here's the deal. Do you know why I dye my mustache for real? You know how often somebody comes up to me and says, hey, are you Johnny Scoville? For real. I mean, that is a daily occurrence in my life. I'm not being funny. My boy asked me this on the phone the other day because while we were talking on the phone, someone walked up and said, hey, I know who you are. And he said, how often does that happen? I said, every day. Not that they think I'm Tommy. Usually they think I'm my brother. But this has helped, right? If this is white, boy, you won't know how much I get that. Finding the boat is a lot of, you know what? I think there's something to that, especially because I tend to be, when you first hear the pitch, did you want to come by? I'm going to go watch this bank robber. You know what I mean? And then you get over and find out I'm not even talking about bank robberies. Like, that would make you angry. Most people want to leave as soon as they find out what I'm talking about. But those who stick around, it is the lotto. Right? It's like the golden ticket. Painted Black, I'm glad that you joined the life. I think this is going to be a damn good mix for you. I really do. You're in the right place. This is home. Hey, QG, I love you too. Hope you're feeling better. I really do. Wow, that's not particularly nice. People do things and they don't even think about it, right? Just the smallest stuff in the whole world. It's just, the teeniest things can have effects for the rest of your life. And they just, a little chooch, right? No, man. People say things just off the top of their head. Tina Marie, I am so happy, man. You just made my night. Wow, man, you just made my night. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, exactly. Proud of everybody here. Those that are not clean, you're here because you what? You're not here because you're thinking this is a fun place to get stoned and listen to, right? People who are here are listening because there is something inside them that is telling them they need a change. I don't care how long you got to keep showing up. Someone's going to say something in this chat. Someone will say something in the chat and it will get you to go, right? And that's it. And from that point forward, life will change. 1 month and 3 days clean off of Klonopin just to get off clonazepam. Just to step off of one of the gnarliest benzodiazepines on planet Earth. I mean, that is a rugged benzo. For all intents and purposes, it's about the top of the food chain. If you're buying if you're going to Mexico and buying it down there, that would be the product that they sell. They call Rivotril. It used to get passed off as Rohypnol back in the day. Once they made roofies illegal, drug dealers used to sell the Rivotril and claim it was a Rohypnol because both of them said Roche, as in Huffman LaRoche, ROCHE on the back of the pill. One, however, had a line across it. That was the rohypnol. The other has a cross, which is funny because the one with the cross is not nearly as strong. Thank you, Jill. I appreciate that. You know what? I'm proud of me too. How do you like that? I'm proud of me too. Yeah, right. When you first super hot vegan, I remember these days, right? I remember having the conversation with Q when I said I'm ready to quit, and he's like, "You're ready to live you're ready to live your best life," and I was like, "No, my best life is behind me. I'm just ready to. I don't want to come back here. I don't want to die in prison, right? This isn't this. I'm ready to be miserable. I will happily trade being happy for freedom." And that was my thought. I thought never using again meant I'm never going to have any fun again. That was my head. And it took a long time to get by that. It took a long time to get by that. But you have to take action, right? You have to take action. If you're not journaling, damn it, start journaling, right? Please. If you're not journaling, start journaling. Please, 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 please. David Fan, 11,800 days sober. Hello. That's fantastic. That really is. That's fantastic. Midnight show. I don't have any hair. We have nothing to worry about. Oh, you mean my mustache? Yeah, I don't do hair. I don't do hair. Yeah, migraines suck. I'm so sorry, honey. I really am. I'm praying for you. In fact, let's do that. All in all. Okay, people, we are coming up on that time of the day. We are coming up on that time of the day. I have decided to stop auto-medicating and get to see a therapist again. You are journaling. I will try that morning and night. Please do try that morning and night, Light Breeze. And yeah, let's put together a team, right? Let's put together a team so that you've got a sobriety team in place and all of that, right? And we're here for you. We would love to help that. We really would. So that does bring us to the top of the hour, right? Now, there was something I would like to do, and I didn't do it earlier because I knew that if I did, I was going to lose this and I was not going to get it back, right? But my friend was Ariel Herbert, and she was the most beautiful person I ever met. If I said her name, I was going to lose it, and it wouldn't have been a really good rest of the show. So I think we hit every one of these. We did. Excellent. People, I am Captain Tommy Scoville, and this right here is a cat in the basket, right? See that head? And there's the paw. Oh, that is the cutest cat ever. I'm sorry. It is the cutest cat ever. Phil Granny, thank you. Appreciate you. Calhounis, what do you say?
What do you say, man?
Wow, listen to that. You know that
Does it work?
Yeah.
Oh, imagine that. We were having technical difficulties all weekend and yesterday and today.
We have really not been doing well with us, right?
But it's not our fault.
It's working now. Some of that,
we're great.
Some of that, though, was on my end. To be really honest, I have made some upgrades with equipment on account of the fact that I spilled a 16-ounce Coca-Cola on something electronic.
You know, that kind of sounds like the universe or God or whoever, someone greater than yourself,
needed me to upgrade, right? Needed me to upgrade. Toodles.
You know, that stuff will take rust off metal and shit and stuff.
Yeah, it'll jack up a computer quicker than you could say Jimmy Crack Corn too.
I did watch
all of Jelly Roll, every single bit of it, from start to finish, and I thought it was I thought he did a bang up job. I really did. I thought he did a great job. And it's rare that someone does. I'm sorry. Very often it's just horrendously self-serving stuff. Oh, my favorite voice on all of the internet. Trinity, Thank you, Trinity. I appreciate you. I really, really appreciate you.
I think the family that he mentioned was the Sacklers, wasn't it? I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched the beginning.
The dirtiest. Oh man, don't even give me. I could spend the next.
Nope. I'm good at that. Let's not do that.
Yeah. I will not go. Yeah, if you've not gone over and checked out Trinity, you need to. It's a very, very cool channel, and hands down, the greatest voice on the web. I honest to God, I love Trinity's voice. I really do. It's one of those things that, without fail, every single night I'm listening to Trinity. Jelly Roll killed it. Say again, Spanky.
If Quiet Girl is still here, I put this hoodie on for her. We were talking about hoodies and bipolar earlier, and I told her I had a tie-dye. So here it is. I wasn't imagining I'd be wearing a coat when I showed it off, but I'm about to go out into the Wild West out there.
Yeah. He did. He said the name Sackler out loud.
Yeah. He said it loud too. His volume went up when he said that. He was like, "This family." I was like, "Heck yeah, get him. Get him."
That family has killed 900,000 people. And their payout was, of the $13 billion that they earned, they only had to pay back 6 of it. Hell of a deal.
Started.
Man. Hell of a deal. All right, people. I'm going to end this on a really good note. I promise.
You guys are awesome. We love you.
And you know what? There's nobody here that's going to go unseen. I promise. And you guys are going to help me in that, because I'm one man and you guys are here. And when it's flipping by and it's going fast, I need you. You hear me?
Y'all are an entire crew.
For real. We've gotten to that size. You know, I've never asked, but we're to that size. Let's not let anybody fall through the cracks. Let's make sure nobody ever comes on this boat that isn't seen. Thank you, Jason P.
I said this earlier in the chat, but I just want to say it again, especially I think it's different coming like from my face and my eyeballs. But the mission of this boat will always remain the same that it was on the outset. Connection is the opposite of addiction. We're not an anti-drug channel. We're an anti-addiction channel. We are here to connect. And that will always be the same, regardless of any collaborations we do, regardless of any paths we walk, any paths we don't walk, regardless of anything. That is what we are here for. That is what we're going to be doing until the end of time. Thank you.
Perfect. And you heard that from the horse's mouth, people. Right?
Thanks, Quiet Girl.
This is my kid. And he's I tell you what, people, the stuff that I'm really bad at. Drop the mic. The stuff that I'm really bad at. The stuff that I really suck at. Calhoun has been doing just a bang up job and making sure that he really has just made my life a lot easier in the last 2 weeks. I could not be any prouder. Yeah, I really could not be any prouder. It's the gospel truth. And he knows that, because I probably said that earlier. Did I not? My kid's blowing my mind. He really is.
You guys make me feel good.
Yeah, well, you're home among family. All right, peeps. Yeah, Spanx has spoken. We will see you guys on the next one. I'm Captain Tommy. That's my boy. That's my cat. Bye-bye.